Hello, this is Shaz from Mindfeast Games, and this is a tutorial to show you how to add your own 2D characters to Cooperation MultiTurn. Okay, so I have the itch app open. Let's launch the game. We're going to launch the Windows demo. Okay, so at the time of making this video, we have version 0.3.3, and it's the 2nd of January 2024. You may have access to more characters and more features in the game if you're playing a later version. Right, so what we want to do is we want to make our own mod. So the easiest way to do this is to clone the original game and then just make some tweaks, and that way we don't affect the original game in case we want to go back to that. Okay, so let us find out where all our files are for the game. So we go back to the itch app, or if you've got this in Steam, obviously you do this in Steam. It's not out on Steam yet. It will be at some point this year. So let's go to our library, and I'm going to right click and it says open folder in Explorer. So now the game that I've opened from itch, all the files are here. Okay, so here's one, Cooperation Data. That sounds useful. And then all the files that you can edit are in Streaming Assets. Okay, so there's Cooperation. So all the files for the game are in there. You've got the art, the code, the levels, the sounds, and some extra stuff here. Okay, we also have player packages. That is where the mods are. So I've already installed a mod here that someone made, or a group of people made, in fact another one, and then this is a template that we've added. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here and I'm going to copy Cooperation, the base game, and I'm going to go over to player packages. I'm going to paste in Cooperation, and I'm going to call it, this is effectively now a new game that I can edit as much as I want. So I'm going to call it new game. Nice and simple. Okay, so now if we go back to the game we have running, in our level design scene, this is where we would test out any new mods, any new levels, any new characters, anything we've added to the game. This is the quickest way to test it. Obviously, if we were going to play the game with other people, maybe play them online, or if we're in the same room, we'd do it via a join code. But let's go to the level design scene. So we already have up here, this is where the game package that we're pointing to. So player packages, yep, that sounds right. And make your own with this template. No, I want to look at, remember I made a new clone, I called it new game. Okay, and it's going to be on the folder levels, and it's on level 1. I want to look at level 5 and play as 2-player. Sure, let's look at the 2-player version. Okay, so let's rotate the camera, let's put the lights on, and let's start the scripts. So now in the clone game I created, which is called new game, this is level 5. So this button here, I can simulate the next round of the game happening. So you see this character that lost some health, and then a new character dropped down. That's Ed Banger. So I can use my keyboard shortcuts over here, so I can control one of our player characters. This is Jason, the American footballer, who's volunteering in the hospital because he's got a good throwing arm. There we go. He can pick up Ed Banger, and you can see Ed Banger flailing around. Let's throw Ed Banger over to my other character. Oh, I was in the wrong I was in the wrong row. So they got thrown against all. Never mind. So there we go. So that's some examples of Ed Banger's animations and how he looks. What we're now going to do is we're going to change how Ed Banger looks. So let us go back to over here. And remember here, I made my new game duplicate. Okay, so we've got the art, the code, the levels, and the sounds. We want to change some of the art. So let's click in the art. And we have 2D characters in 3D environments. I want to change Ed Banger, who's a 2D character. Let's open that. There we go. So we've got various different images that we use in the game. We've got some posters on the wall. We've got some tiles for the floor. And we've also got some folders here, patients and players. So in the players folder, we've got well, at the moment 3 players that you can edit. Soon you'll be able to edit all 4 characters. And the patients. At the moment we've got 2 patients you can edit, and soon you'll be able to edit around 4 or 5. Okay, so Ed Banger. Now this is the file we're looking for. So edbanger.png. This is his atlas file. That means that's all of his body bits. So let's duplicate that. So let's copy it and let's paste it. The copy I'm going to call original, and then I've just got I've backed it up in case I make some changes that I really don't like. I've always got that back, the original file, and this is what we're going to edit. Now you can edit this in any 2D art package that you have. So if you've got Microsoft Paint, cool, use that. If you've got Adobe Photoshop, cool, use that. Whatever you're used to or whatever you have, you can use any art package as long as you can save your image as a PNG file. That's the important bit. Okay, so let's go to, I'm going to open it with, I'm used to using Photoshop Elements. It's a reduced version of Photoshop. So I'm going to use that just because I'm familiar with it. Okay, so this is Ed Banger's Atlas file. We saw what he looked like in the game. There he is. So he's a punk rocker. He has been all his life. He loves that stuff. So you can see he's got his mohawk. He doesn't actually have glasses here, but they're here in case we want to, with code, at any point switch them on. But we haven't done that so far. But anyway, we've got some additional options. And then obviously he's got his head, but that's where he's got a bit of an injury. Maybe that's why he's in hospital. He's got his belly. He's got a bit of a belly there. And he's got his punk rock clothes. So what we can do is we can just scribble over this, recolor it. We can change this as much as we want. And now, what you'll see in a second, he'll be a different character in the game. So why don't I duplicate that? Again, I like having a backup of the original stuff. I'm just reducing the opacity there so I can kind of see over it. Okay, what should we change? I will point out I'm not an artist. I'm the game designer in the game. It's Josh is our 2D artist. He makes all these cool characters, and Caitlin is our 3D artist. But that's okay. I'm not that great at drawing, but it doesn't really matter. We can still have fun. So what should we do? I want to change the skin tone. So this is a color dropper. Again, use whatever tools you are familiar with or whatever you have. I'm just using what I'm familiar with. So I'm going to change Ed's skin tone. I'm going to change it, I don't know, something closer to my skin tone. So I guess I have light brown skin. Go on, let's rough approximate it. Something like that. That'll do. And I'm just going to, well, let's just get rid of the original one for the moment. There we go. Actually, let's make him even a bit darker. Why not? Darker brown. So I'm going to undo that. Yeah, that's right. Oops. I'm on the wrong layer. There we go. There we go. And yep. And these must be his arms. And there's his hands. Let's change all of that. So obviously I'm using the paint bucket tool just to fill in a color. You can use whatever tools you prefer to use. You might want to add more details than I'm using, so maybe you want to draw on some cool details. Like I said, I'm not great at drawing, so I'll use the tools that make sense to me. Okay, so that's the first change. Simple change I'm going to make. So let's see what that looks like. Let's save that. I'm going to press save for web. That's what I usually do. Okay, PNG, 24-bit PNG. So it's got the transparency. That's the important bit about PNG files. So all this stuff here, the transparent space, we still want to retain that, or the alpha it's called as well. Okay, let's save that. Ed Banger. I've copied that. Control C. And I'm going to replace in the H folder. Replace the file. Yes. Okay, so now when we reload the scene, Ed should have a different color skin. Let's find out. Right, so I just press load. Let's see what happens. Will it work? Hey, it's worked. So let's start scripts. And let's simulate the next round of the game happening by using this button here. There we go! So, let's go over to him again, see his animations. There we go! So he's got different colour skin, but he's still using all those great animations that Josh has made, so let's actually try and catch him this time. There we go. My other character is in the correct row. There we go. Cool. So we can make some more changes. So let's go back over here. This is the art file we had open. Let's change his hair, why not? So what should we do to his hair? In fact, I'm going to rub his hair out completely. I'm just going to get rid of it. Oh, I'm just going to undo that. I'd accidentally rubbed out a bit of his belly there. Let's try that again. Okay. Okay, and remember I'd already duplicated the layer and I changed the opacity. That's just so I can kind of see the outline of where the original stuff was. And I can, what should we do? Let's get a black color as an outline. And let's make it kind of spiky like this. Okay, let's do the same. Josh must have drawn 2 bits of hair because it's like for the animation it shows different bits. Okay, and then let's just paint back it black. Okay, that looks fine to me. It's got a funny little outline, but I like that. What else should we change? I want to change, so let's get rid of that. I want to change some of his clothes. So I'm going to get, it's called the Magic Wand tool in Photoshop. It will select an outline of something. Let's look at him again in the game. Oh, so he's got grey sleeves and a grey sort of t-shirt. Okay, so that's what those must be. There's his t-shirt, there's his sleeves. Okay, so I'm going to select that and I am going to use a rainbow gradient tool. So I've selected just, and again I'm going to keep saying this loads of times, I'm not an artist, so I'm sure people watching this tutorial video will actually have a much better idea of how to change the characters in a cool way. So I'm just doing what makes sense to me. There we go. Got that. Let's change this one as well. That'll do. Or should I do it diagonal? Yeah, let's do it diagonal as well. Let's do his, should we do his sleeves? Let's do his sleeves a different gradient. What have we got? Well, these are just the presets. That'll do. I like that one. There we go. And over here. And that must be a bit of it as well. Okay. Different gradient. Why not? That one. Okay. So he now has rainbow t-shirt and black spiky hair, not a green mohawk. So let's save that again. Save web. Yep, transparency, that's what we have. And I'm saving it in the same place. So it's just going to overwrite that file. So let's go over here. There we go. Here's that adjusted file. I'm going to copy it, Control C, and again paste it over to where it is in the itch folder. Replace, yes. And now let's go back to the game. I should be able to just, like, once again, reload. Let's press load. Will it work? Whee! Look, He's got some different bits on him. Oh, and he's got one green bit on it. Well, let's start the scripts. Do you know what? I forgot to do... Oh, yeah. So just on... why does he have one little green bit there? Let's have a look at his... Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of green bit of hair. Josh must have added a separate hair bit for animation purposes. Okay, so I was just saying, I actually forgot to do one thing. So you'll notice, obviously, the characters already have whatever colours they've got. Josh has decided what the colours, or I guess us as a team, and then Josh has finalised it. What we probably want to do is have the game's code ignore the original color data, just in case it conflicts with our new colors at all. I don't think it has in this case. They look pretty good actually, but just in case, we can add that. So we need this extra bit of code. Now, Joe, one of our programmers, he told me this bit of code, so I've just made a note of it. So I'm going to add that. So we're back in the, this is where the files were for the game, in the itch folder. So we're going to go up. Okay, so again, we had art, code, level, sounds. I want to look at the code. No, I don't. I am wrong. I want to look at the levels. Levels, there we go. And there's a file called levels shared. So these are all the levels for the game. Look, there's level 1, 3 players, level 1, 4 players. So if we wanted to edit the levels, we'd do that in those files, but we're not doing that right now. Here we go. Levels shared. That's what I want to open. So you can open this in any text editor. If I double click, it will open in the one I use. Okay, so let's search for Ed. Ed Banger. Here he is. There's lots of, I won't go through this entire file. There's lots of references to the game, lots of objects and characters as well. So here we go. Patient Ed Banger. So we can change, for example, his scale. That means how big he is. I could make him bigger if I want. Sure. In fact, as I'm here, why not? So 0.26. Let's make him ridiculously big. 1.26. That's roughly 5 times bigger. It's probably going to look stupid, but why not? And this is the bit that I copied that Joe told me about. This means we're overwriting all his original colors with white so that we can make sure that the colors that we've put all look great, or look as we would expect them to look, I should say. So I'm going to save that, Control S, that is now saved. And now if we go back to the game again, I'll reload. Haha! This is going to look a bit silly when I pick them up, but anyway, that's kind of the fun when you're making your own mod. You can make it as ridiculous as you want. So again, press load scripts, and I'm going to simulate the next round of the game. There's I think we have to call him, he's no longer Ed Banger, he's someone else. Well, I guess we could change all his clothes. We could give him a peg leg if we want. We can do what we want. Okay, not that character. Let me pick up with this character. What will this look like? I don't know. Well, hey! What does it look like when I throw him? Why don't we make him mini? Let's make him mini. So let's go back to that game file. So it was scale that I changed. So I just changed it to 1.26 instead of 0.26. So let's make him, what's half of 26? 13. 0.13. So he's going to be half as big now. He's going to be a mini character. Let's Control S, save that. Oops. And let's go back to the game. There we are. Press load. There's a mini Ed, which you can barely see. What does that look like when I pick him up? Okay, again, press this button, get to the round of the game where Ed turned up. There he is. Okay, let's walk over. In fact, his health is completely obscuring him because he's so small now. And let's catch him because he's so mini, we don't want to hurt him. Okay. Oops. throw him back with the other character. Let's put him in the bed. What will that? That's probably going to look really weird. Will we even see him? Let's find out. So I'm putting him in the bed now. Yeah, you can't see him because his health is so obscured. But that's the fun of the modding system. You can do whatever you want really. So if we go back, here's our character sheet. We could completely change all of this, you know, to whatever you want. Okay, so that is a basic tutorial of how to change your own characters, or sorry, edit the characters, change the characters to make your own characters. Okay, have fun. Cheers. Bye.